hotore. Start with Karani, and then Maklas, then Lebed. Thank Aya, tunachukua tano kwanza. Lebed Karani.
I first of all want to thank our facilitator. That was a very good presentation, very educative and very touching to all of us. I know ameleta leaders amewaleta at the altar pale kwa meza. Unfortunately, our seniors attend in those churches, they don't comment, and we should nurture one another and also on the alp and the prayer desk. Number 3 is about the opening prayer. The opening prayer. I understand in the Anglican Church, the service starts. Most of the speakers have spoken about the procession. But let me say, in the Anglican Church, the service begins at the vestry. So the prayer said at the vestry is the opening prayer. So when we get again into the church and then we say we want to have an opening prayer, is a repetition, because actually we have started the service and then the opening remarks are also part of the prayer. Then finally, to all of us, I have seen when we are in a very big function and then you see some of us who are clergy, athoma kigo kia Ngai akuga ici nicio ciugo cia Ngai instead of giki nikio kiugo kia Ngai. So those are the 4 things that I wanted to raise.
Thank you. Reverend Marcus.
Mine is mostly a rejoinder. Therefore, I ask for 1 or 2 minutes. And first of all, say that the church is not only an institution, it is also a fellowship. A fellowship. And mostly, these days, we are very much dealing on the church as an institution. I want to say this, that a dying church overemphasizes on tradition, like what has happened this afternoon, beliefs, titles, and protocols. But what is more important is relevance and influence. There are very many emerging issues impacting exodus from our church. There is a lot of poaching from our church, and we are here discussing about traditions, protocols, titles, processions. Our Christians are seeking relevance as opposed to traditional Sunday service. There is the titanic battle between relevance and tradition. And we keep talking about and boasting about traditions, processions, titles, powers. There are very many important, relevant contextual realities that we should discuss. We can preach and preach about tradition. However, some traditions are rigid. We want to retain allergic traditions, hanging to tradition to a point of worshiping tradition above God. Is tradition God? This is detrimental to the growth and the vibrancy of our church. And that's why Pentecostals are coming to poach from us. That's why we are losing Christians to the churches that are embracing influence. It is not a matter of being called and delivered or whatever name you would like. It is about influence. How much are we influencing? Lastly, we have not even spoken about time breaks during a Sunday service. Andu maume baranja makongalie mbesa cia kuota. Mubunjia hii abewe mabunjio thaa 7:30 ati nigetha ndikie kuota mbai mweri wa gatandatu. Kou ni gute.
Reverend Michael.
Okay, thank you very much, our presenter. We really appreciate what you have done unto us. So much for that. I take what has been presented as an eye-opener. And I want to say, just information to my brother. I think this is just an identity of who we are. It's not about emphasizing the tradition or something like that. You know, I'm both Catholic and Protestant, so I have to join the two. And if anybody who can talk about what has been presented, in fact, I would have been invited to speak about all what has been done here, because that is where I am coming from. So what I want to say, just a comment, I don't know whether it is a doctrine or something like that. We are very good in preparing men to be confirmed. And then they promise us that once they are confirmed, they do the wedding. So the problem that we are facing, this man was confirmed, tukangoja mwaka wa kwanza, wa pili, wa tatu, hajafanya harusi. So I don't know whether we are breaking our doctrine or what are we doing, because now there's a lot of confusion. And then when you tell somebody, are you married? No, but I was around by the bishop to go for the Holy Communion. Why stop me now? So you can see the confusion that is rising up in our congregation. So we need some clarity on that. Thank you.
Reverend Amos. Reverend Amos.
Thank you ni undu wa kanya. Kithomo kiu ni kiega. And I want to believe uria turathoma nigu tukuthii go practice in our parishes. No ko bandu ndigwa bandukania. Ndetena menya wega. Aba ba canon. Na le canon. Riu uria ndirarigwo ni ati na tondu le canon ye thiini wa tungata na kuna nguo iria mekiraga cia canon. Riu kiuri giakwa ni arikagira nguo icuku tondu de in the procession na kai agekaraga ku. Kiu nikio kiuria kiria kirangia tondu no tukimenya tutigakithi kurwa nake kuria kanitha ningi mwira we wikara na guku kana ekara na guku. Riu guo niku ndirarigwa agekagira nguo mucioke na cia kare ya Kristiano ni kana agoka kuria vestry twikire nake tuthi procession. Thank you.
Thank you. Allow us first to respond to those. Thank you. Now I thought we are live. We are live on the screen. We are live on the Pillar TV. So we are also educating others who are not with us. You are the last. Yes.
Thank you. Ndio kana ngometa na scripture kana tradition kana reasoning. But I need clarification from you. Vendera toko betokera through institutions. Vendera toko betokera through institutions. Tadukuru kana madhibitare. Kokorago na ibao the signing bonds. Na this signing bonds ikorago irorete mwena wa barabara. Na ndesi regirora mwena wa barabara nigetha andu mathome me barabara-ine mamenye no ni ndu ironanua. Ria twathie mathiko kuthikana mutharaba ukaruba ugakaroke bokandike ritwa na nyonaga muno mu strange kani tradition kani niki kabau kwa tukaroragia mwena uyu mundu athikitwe ona kwa ikoro kona rugirio bau bakume na kaburi tukaroragio na kurugirine na nikage kandike no muthike bau Riu twagirwo ukaroria mwena uyu uri andu kana ri ko mukui.
Thank you. Okay, Tabet to respond the question, and then we shall continue.
Okay, thank you. I'll start with the Reverend Amos. Gutina bandu basejetie. It's only go to ugire. Wathonde kama udu mundu ngioka atharurania. But that is still remains. The status quo remain. About the opening prayer, ngisiria twaragia nundu wa benefit ya Kristiano asoma tumanithio baria kiria oro tukiambia vestry. That's for their benefit. Ndiko na benaham. Sawa. My little knowledge about it. Thank you. Don't get a Canon, Venerable Canon Benson. Okay, continue with the rest. Karibu sana our ears.
Thank you very much. That information that he has dispensed to us. We have many responsibilities that tungateri. Now one of the responsibilities iria tukoragwo nacio ni lead worship. So today we dedicated this gathering to speak about liturgy and worship. So nojorie Reverend Marcus etikire kuhoreria ngoro tondu muthe turaria uhoro wa liturgy. Then as you know, members, we have been handling other issues when we come here. So let's not make this so emotive. Even in the Bible, it's very biblical. If you read 1 Corinthians chapter 14, Paul speaks so much about worship. In that chapter, he speaks so much about worship. Na neho ameraga riu mungiambiria kwaria na thiomi nyuothe mundu ungi nake ekwenda auka kuigua kiugo akore o mundu arari na thiomi ithi mundu ucio twecirie mu maguruku riu na Paul crowns it all in chapter 14 verse 40, where he says that let all things be done decently and in order. So that's what I would say concerning that. Although Marcus said it's a rejoinder, and it's also good because you also provoke our minds. No, John, the issue of the lay leaders and the Alps. Dika nisia sokire toni datigire ciathira riu iko injoku ithuĩ no ithuĩ twĩkĩte atĩa tucoketie, and we should protect one another. Tondu hĩndĩ ĩrĩa niĩ ndathiĩ parish ndaciĩnina tondu nĩ resolution twamĩkire nawe woka nawe waciĩcokia. In fact, even without telling these people, uramera mutungatĩri ũcio ararĩ hau mbere ndaramenyaga ũrĩa areka. So at the end of the day we find ourselves fighting one another. The issue of the lay leaders and the prayer desk, the same. So it's good to have a consistency. We have a consistency. When we sit, when we agree, mundu mwe ndakende kuoneka atari kuwe mwega gukira ucio ungi kana acio angi. So the issue of the opening prayer, I think I cannot contend with what John has said. No mundu angienda kuhoithia no ahoithie tona ke Ngai ndakenogagio ni mahoya. So what I want to say is that this was an eye opener. Ni undu wa maundu mamwe maria turoi na ni twariganĩirwo na maria mangi tutirari tumoi. Tari kwina maundu magweto igwauga kanoni ndagĩirwo ni gwikira ni guthi hara na kiria eno njiru na nithiaga nayo njiru iki riu baba Thailand na kuma hĩndĩ ĩrĩa twathomire enduni nĩwe gwaku nĩ ndĩrekĩrĩte na so it's an eye opener. But above all, I want to really support what Marcus has said. Let us not forget the main thing. Now, the main thing, ni gutuma andu makinyiro ni uthamaki wa Ngai. Yeah? Gutuma andu makinyiro ni uthamaki wa Ngai. At the same time, to expand the church, andu moke thiini wa kanitha. All the other things that we are doing, they are only supportive to the main cause. You know, within our church history, kuhidi andu mekiriire uhoro wa icons na nyamungi cietagwo university teacher na mekirire maundu macio kanitha kiambiriria guikuruka because they only majored on that. So even as we talk about liturgy, as we talk about order in the church, let's not forget the basic. But even when we are doing the basic, we should not forget our identity. So there is a balance. And a balance inatora batarania go strike. So need you not go kuongerera, but I want to bring the greetings of our bishop. He is attending a workshop in Bere, a region, a Sunday school, Maratho de Casela. So he said that he will not be together with us. No nitugire gite giake aha. Na nikyo kiaia gukiadressaga muno. And I know the bishop is also following us online. Na kuria atekuhota go to follow, he'll go to the YouTube after we are through. So receive the greetings of the bishop. Na njoke ndimucokerie ngatho inyuothe muno ni undu wa guka. Rekei tutikamisage forum ino. These are very good forums. Yesterday, I visited a certain diocese. Now, one of the people who came to speak, aratuiraga nitwagirwo koragwo na structured, misemanio structured, one ya kwaria about our policies. Very structured, our policies. Number two, about our code of conduct. Kauga tutikarekereria maundu macio